it is a across the board issue when you're talking about institutionally the government suppressing our vote. I talk about voting constantly because, one, as I've said a million times, it is disrespectful to our ancestors that people don't vote. People were killed, lynched, raped, murdered, terrorized, beaten, and forbidden from voting because it actually matters. They wouldn't be doing all of that. They wouldn't be going to these lengths to roll back work that was done in the civil rights era if it didn't matter. They don't care about those things if it doesn't matter. They want to be able to suppress the Black vote, and that should terrify everyone. And if you live in these states or you spend money in these states, you should be upset about this if you understand the deep level of racism and control that is happening with this. I think this is something that has to happen across the board in order for it to be effective. But I also think that when it comes to organizing movements, when it comes to standing up to what's happening, we don't really have an organized voice. We don't have an organized movement. We don't have a leader. We don't have people that we trust in these spaces. And I get it. Everyone didn't like MLK. Everyone didn't like Malcolm X. Everyone didn't agree with the civil rights movement. Don't cause problems. Don't disrupt things. I understand that anytime that there is a movement for change, there is resistance, even within the community that is being oppressed. But at some point, we got to figure it out because there's a lot of work, very openly, loudly open, loud work being done to roll back all of the change, all of the progress that was fought for. I personally am terrified. I think it's crazy that we have all sort of just accepted that this is happening. And I get it. Like, what are we supposed to do? That's the question. What are we supposed to say? What are we supposed to fight for? Where do we go? No one's fighting for us in Congress. No one's pushing back on this regime and every change that they are making that will permanently affect our futures. So do nothing? I don't know. And I think that's, to me, what I interpreted in the spirit of this campaign is that maybe one strong voice from one strong young person that is deeply desired by these institutions, that they want their talents, maybe one player could start that firestorm to make them see that the money and the influence is not going to continue to flow while the rights and the freedoms are not supported. And to me, that was my takeaway from it. It's not reasonable to ask every single athlete that is planning on going to one of those schools and getting paid millions of dollars to play the sport that they've worked their entire life to get the opportunity to play at that level, change their families' lives, and get opportunities and access that otherwise would not exist. But maybe one athlete will stand up and say something and will be articulate enough to explain why, and that will shake the hearts and minds of the people who need to hear it. Because consequences seem to be the only thing that matter anymore, because you can't present people with facts. You can't present people with reality. You can't present people with history and have them absorb it anymore. So I do think that it's an interesting proposition. There are things I disagree with it, and I think it's slightly incomplete. But the spirit of it is, at some point, somebody has to put their convenience and comfortability behind their rights and freedom and the voice and platform that they have.